In today's video, we're going to be looking at word problems involving volume. So in number one, it says Jordan has an Arizona iced tea can that is 10 inches tall with a diameter of 3 inches. Colleen has a Sprite can that is 8 inches tall with the same diameter as the iced tea can. How much more liquid is in the iced tea? So I'm going to draw a little diagram here. We'll see. So we have Arizona can. Okay, with that is 10 inches tall and has a diameter of 3 inches. And there is the Arizona can. Okay, Colleen has a Sprite can that is 8 inches tall. All right, so there's my Sprite can that is 8 inches tall with the same diameter. So again, it's going to be 3. So both of these are cylinders. Remember, the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Now, they give us the diameters, so we have to figure out the radius. The radius, if the diameter is 3, the radius is 1.5. Same thing here. The radius is 1.5. So we're going to figure out the Arizona can first. Right, so we're going to plug in 1.5 for r squared, 10 in for the height. So 1.5 squared times 10, and I'm going to leave the pi at the end. 1.5 squared times 10 is 22.5. All right, so that's in terms of pi, the volume of the Arizona can. All right, now the Sprite one. 1.5 going in for R, 8 is going in for H. So the Sprite is 1.5 squared times 8 pi. So 1.5 squared times 8, which is 18 pi. So there's the volume of the Arizona can and the Sprite can. Now we want to know how much more liquid. How much more liquid means you subtract. Okay, you're finding the difference, so you're going to subtract those numbers. So 22.5 pi minus 18.5 or 18 pi is 4.5 pi. So that's my answer in terms of pi. Now, if I want to round it to the nearest tenth, let's do that. 4.5 times pi is 14.1. So that is about 14.1 ounces cubed, right? Cube ounces, right? So again, you're finding the volume of two different objects, and then depending on their relationship or depending what they're asking for, that is how you're going to solve your answer in the end. I would always save the pi for the very end. Okay, save the pi and multiply it by the coefficients at the very end. Okay, just so that you don't make any rounding mistakes. Let's look at another one. A can of soda has a height of 4.75 inches and a radius of 1.25 inches. A box that is 5 by 8 by 5.5 inches contains a 6-pack of soda. approximately how much space is not used by the soda cans in the box. So we have a box. And it is, was it 5 by 8 by 5.5? Okay, so my volume for this is length times width times height. Now we're trying to fit 6 soda cans inside of this. 6 packs of soda. All right, so 6 packs of soda, or 6 cans of soda. So you have to take 1 can of soda and multiply it by 6 to figure out how much room that takes up. So remember, this one is volume is pi r squared h. Okay, and then we have to times that by 6. So let's start with the box. So the volume of the box is length times width times height. So I'm going to do 5 times 5.5 times 8, which is 220. Okay, now the volume of the can it says it has a radius of 1.25. So that's going to go in for my R. And a height of 4.75. And also you have to multiply this by 6. So basically we're doing 1.25 squared times the height, which is 4.75, times 6 pi. So 1.25 squared times 4.75 times 6 equals 44.53125. Now with this one, since the other volume doesn't have pi in it, I am going to round this one to the nearest tenth. Okay. In the problem before, we had both volumes had the actual pi symbol in the volume formulas, so that's why I saved pi for the end. So this one, there won't be a rounding mistake if you round it correctly right now. So we have 44.53125, and I have to multiply that by pi and round it. So it's 139.9. So all of that together is about 139.9. How much space is not used? So if this is the volume of all the space being used and that the box can handle, and this is the volume of 6 cans, so this should say 6 cans, the volume of 6 cans, I'm going to subtract those. Now, not all of these problems involve ones where you subtract, but in these 2 cases, you do. So you do 220 minus 139.9, and you get 80.1. So you subtract those numbers, and your answer is 80.1 inches cubed. About. So again, it's important to know the volume formulas and how they relate to each other. Do you subtract the figures? Do you divide them? Do you add them? So you're taking a look at these word problems and determining that relationship, and then doing one of those 4 basic operations at the very end. All right. If you have any questions, please ask me in class. Thank you for watching.